1945. The world was on fire. The Axis powers, once seemingly invincible, were crumbling under the weight of their own ambitions. From the ruins of Europe to the burning islands of the Pacific, the tide had turned. The armies of the free world were pushing back the darkness, liberating the lands the Axis had conquered with such ruthless efficiency. Yet, in the remote and unforgiving jungles of eastern British India, one outpost of the Empire of Japan refused to acknowledge defeat. Here, amidst the tangled vines and ancient trees, Colonel Hiroshi Tanaka, a man whispered to be as elusive and dangerous as a phantom, continued to fight. He was a ghost, a phantom, haunting the dreams of the British and Indian soldiers tasked with ending his defiance. His name, uttered in hushed tones around campfires, was enough to send shivers down the spines of even the most hardened veteran. They called him the Phantom Warlord, a fitting title for a man who seemed to command the jungle itself. Hiroshi Tanaka was not a man born for surrender. From his days as a young boy in rural Japan, the stories of samurai valor and unwavering loyalty were ingrained in his soul. He rose through the ranks of the Imperial Japanese Army with unwavering determination, his tactical brilliance matched only by his icy demeanor. When the Empire turned its gaze towards British India, Tanaka saw not just another conquest, but a chance to etch his name in the annals of history. The initial Japanese offensive, spearheaded by the legendary 15th Army, was lightning fast and brutal. They swept through Southeast Asia, their advance fueled by a belief in their own invincibility and the promise of liberating Asia from colonial rule. Tanaka, at the helm of a battalion of seasoned jungle fighters, was instrumental in their early successes. His men, handpicked for their ruthlessness and unwavering loyalty, were as much a force of nature as the jungle itself. They moved with a silent grace that belied their deadly purpose, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. As the campaign progressed, the dense jungles of eastern British India became a battleground unlike any other. The oppressive heat, torrential monsoons, and the constant threat of disease were as much the enemy as the British and Indian troops. Yet it was here in this unforgiving green hell that Tanaka truly thrived. He embraced the jungle, learning its secrets and turning its dangers against his enemies. His tactics were as cunning as they were ruthless. Booby traps, crafted from sharpened bamboo and concealed with deadly precision, awaited the unwary. False trails, designed to lure enemy patrols into meticulously prepared ambushes, became a hallmark of his strategy. The jungle, once a symbol of untamed wilderness, now echoed with the silent menace of Tanaka's hidden army. The British and Indian soldiers, ill-equipped and unprepared for the realities of jungle warfare, were easy prey for Tanaka's men. Fear spread through their ranks like a virus, fueled by whispers of the Phantom Warlord and his ghostly army. They were fighting a phantom, an enemy they could rarely see but always felt. As 1945 wore on, the tide of the war turned decisively against Japan. Their forces, stretched thin and starved of supplies, began to falter. The once mighty 15th Army, battered by relentless Allied assaults and ravaged by disease, was slowly being pushed back. Yet deep in the jungles, Tanaka's forces endured. The jungle, once their enemy, had become their sanctuary, providing cover and sustenance where none should exist. But the jungle could not hold back the inevitable forever. His men, their uniforms rotted to rags, their bodies ravaged by malaria and hunger, were shadows of their former selves. Ammunition was scarce, their once plentiful supplies dwindling with each passing day. But Tanaka, his spirit unbroken, refused to contemplate surrender. He rallied his men with tales of samurai valor, reminding them of their duty to the emperor and the honor they would find in death. He became a symbol of defiance, a beacon of hope in the gathering darkness. The final confrontation, when it came, was as swift and brutal as a jungle predator. British and Indian troops, their numbers bolstered by reinforcements and guided by local tribesmen eager to rid themselves of the Japanese presence, converged on Tanaka's last stronghold. The battle raged for hours, the air thick with the stench of cordite and death. The Japanese, outnumbered and outgunned, fought with the ferocity of cornered animals. Tanaka, his katana flashing in the dappled sunlight filtering through the canopy, was a whirlwind of death. His every strike imbued with the cold fury of a man who knew his time was running out. He fought until his blade was chipped and his body screamed for respite. Yet, he refused to yield. When the gunfire finally ceased and the smoke cleared, Tanaka was gone. Some whispered that he had fallen in battle, his body swallowed by the jungle, never to be found. Others claimed to have seen him melt into the undergrowth, his spirit unbroken, vowing to fight another day. The fate of Colonel Hiroshi Tanaka remains a mystery to this day. Whether he perished in the final assault on his jungle fortress, or vanished into the depths of the forest, becoming one with the land he had fought so fiercely to defend, is unknown. His story, passed down through generations of villagers and whispered around campfires, has taken on a life of its own. Some dismiss it as a mere legend, a tale concocted to explain the inexplicable. Others, however, believe that the Phantom Warlord still walks the jungle, his spirit forever bound to the land where he fought his last stand. They say that on moonless nights when the wind whispers through the trees, one can still hear the faint clash of steel, a chilling reminder of the man they called the Phantom of the Eastern Jungle. And so, the legend lives on, a testament to the enduring power of myth and the mysteries that still linger in the shadows of history.